if I start going into the details, it'll probably get very emotional. But what I can... So, you want to know why I'm so passionate about Shepherd's Bush? You want to know why I always say Mecca, Medina, Bush? This might sound like a joke, and it is a bit of balance. Of course, there's plenty of Muslim countries that are far better than Shepherd's Bush. But the reason why I'm so passionate when it comes to Shepherd's Bush and everything about it is because it belongs in a special place in my heart. Shepherd's Bush is the place that I met the people who, after Allah, sculpted me and made me the man I am today. If it wasn't for Shepherd's Bush, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the masjid, the Sunnah, I don't know where I'd be. And every time I feel like I want to do some haram, or every time I feel like I'm getting a bit weak, I start to remember all of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did for me. The fact that I was literally on a path to either becoming the typical Somali kid who either goes to prison, probably gets killed, or becomes some sort of drug addict. And despite all of the odds being against me, being in that state, being discriminated against by other cultures and other races, getting into fights, problems throughout my childhood, somehow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still chose me and took me out of that scenario without even me having to leave my area, connected me to people who taught me how to be a man, connected me to people who I learned Arabic language, Quran, Islamic studies, so many different things, to the stage where at like the age of 20, 21, I was leading prayers in the masjid. Like, what did I deserve for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make me or put me in this position when I was literally just a kid that was doomed? The fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did that for me causes me to always take a step back. Whenever I feel like doing some haram, I'm like, Allah gave me all this, and I'm really going to sacrifice it all for like a moment of happiness and a moment of joy. Obviously, we all fall short, and I'm going to continue to fall short. But what Allah took me out from is always motivation for me, because I know that whatever happens to me, whatever deep, dark hole or situation I may be in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is able to do all things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is qadirun ala kulli shay. One of his names is Al-Qadir, the one that's all able. Now, if I start going into the details, it'll probably get very emotional, but what I can say is the moral of the story is put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take that step for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He'll do the rest.